We are talking about a couple of very famous moms today on our parenting panel, with famous moms in their own right. Parenting expert Julie Cole, and founder of Mabel's Labels, and psychotherapist and the founder of Momwell, Djossa.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks very much. So let's talk about Marie Kondo.
Okay.
So I followed her very closely from the time that she wrote her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up.
Right.
And I guess the expectations are huge.
Right. So here's the thing. She's been getting a little bit of slack lately in the parenting community because since her books and her very popular Netflix series, I mean, we all remember Sparking Joy, right? She's since had 3 kids, and she thinks tidying up might be a little bit overrated now. And, you know, I can see how that happens. And like I said, people are giving her a bit of slack, but we all have that experience of we think how life is going to be. And then there's a change, like you have children, and then it's not quite the same. You know, we're going to be the perfect parent, then we had kids, and right?
Yeah. I think it's a classic case of we set expectations for ourselves outside of our motherhood role, or when we have, like, when I had 1 child versus now when I have 3, I used to go to the zoo. I used to keep the house clean. I used to do all of these things. And then when your invisible load grows with each child, and just even frankly, the stuff in your house grows, when you're in that role now with 2 children, 3 children, you have to reevaluate and adjust your expectations. And maybe folding your clothes perfectly and putting your underwear away so neat and tidy isn't the priority. Sometimes it's more survival even.
Right.
For sure.
And why is it an expectation of moms?
Well, exactly. I think it is that invisible load of parenthood. Like that's a lot of this is falling on the moms. And I think, you know, and I do appreciate that. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, I told you so. But she's admitting that things do change and our priorities do shift. And I think it's okay too. I know we did a blog post over at Mabel's Labels about maybe some more realistic, you know, organization things like toys. Okay, if it's broken, if there's a piece missing, if they've outgrown it, then it goes. You know, maybe not so much the sparks joy, but more practicality around it.
Yeah, less about like aesthetics and everything being perfect, and more about function for how we use our things. I have an example of this. My children like strip off in the living room every day to put their PJs on, and clothes is just like around our living room. Traditionally, baskets are in the bathroom or in your room in terms of hampers. We put one on the main floor because that's what's functional for us, and that's what works. And they know exactly where to put it. So when we start to think in terms of function rather than aesthetics and perfection, it kind of frees us up to breathe and do things our own way a little bit.
And just live. Right? And enjoy your kids. Instead of tidy kids, just enjoy them.
Well, and I think that's what she realized. Priority shift, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember like before the show came out, just reading the book, I'm like, well, I'd like to aspire to that. And I don't have kids. I'm like, but there's no way I could do this. I mean, you should see my sock drawer. But, you know, as to everything sparking joy, it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, another famous mom, Rihanna.
Right. So her famous halftime show at the Super Bowl, of course, she announced her pregnancy. And I think pregnant women everywhere were a little bit like, now I can't use pregnancy as an excuse to get off the hook for anything.
I have to dance on a floating stage.
Right? But I think at the end of the day, again, it's around expectation. And, you know, no pregnancy is created equally. 80% of women suffer from some sort of nausea or vomiting. I was not one of those women. I was in that 20% who could have been doing their Rihanna dancing at halftime. But that is not the same for everyone.
Yeah. Why you had 6 kids, I guess, if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's right.
I would not have, I can tell you, there would not have been 6 kids if I was 7.
Right. Yeah, the amount of complaints actually that I've seen come in about how too sexual her show was, like sexualized. And I think that this speaks to the norms on women and pregnant women. Where like,
what, a mom can't be sexualized?
Right.
What?
Like all of a sudden the norms
How did
are
they
like,
get there?
be nurturing, be kind, be passive, be gentle. And all of a sudden she's performing and just in her own right being a boss mom that she is. And we're getting criticized because, of course, when we become a mom, the function is motherhood now, right? So these norms start to play out, and these like narratives and stories around how women and mothers should behave once they're pregnant and once they're mothers. And I think that really traps us and confines us if that's how, you know, we treat that.
And these expectations manifest themselves on social media, and that's where your website comes out. It's a safe space for moms and mental health issues.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to be where moms are. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Momwell. We have a free podcast and a whole like platform of supports, digital supports and therapy services. But ultimately, they're like spreading the word that perfection is not a requirement for motherhood, and it is an adjustment for all of us. It's usually not what we expect, and when we have mixed emotions about it, it's okay. It makes sense. We all feel that way.
Yeah. And let's not criticize
That's
moms
right. Just
of any
embrace
kind.
it.
Let's
And
raise them up.
Anna, like, good. Like, get out there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Role
Record
model.
setting, first one to produce, like to do the half show pregnant, like
Yeah.
amazing for her.
All right, we have run out of time, but we'll get both of your socials up on our website, chch.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.